How much do you owe on it?
A little under 700,000.
I mean, that's close to a little over $200,000 in negative equity, bro.
These vehicles are that are getting repossessed by the banks and being sold at the auction. Look at this.
There are 66,000 model year 2023 new cars still for sale, and it's almost 2025.
Auto industry's recession and deflationary spiral is getting even worse.
What up, y'all? Today we're going to be reacting to the car market crashing. Unfortunately, things ain't looking as sweet as they used to be after the pandemic. Used car prices were almost similar to a brand new car, and people were pushing everything out there. In fact, dealerships were trying to put even markups on cars because people had extra change. Because of those high interest payments, some people were just not able to hold their car for too long. Unfortunately, some people had to get repoed.
Oh my God.
Someone please call 911.
Now dealerships are starting to see that none of their cars are moving out the lot.
All right, yo, we're at the auction. I'm gonna show you how bad repos are getting and how new these vehicles are that are getting repossessed by the banks and being sold at the auction. Look at this.
Ooh.
All these are repos.
You see that?
All brand
Why is
new.
it that we always see Mustangs, bro? Mustangs are always repoed. You always see that. Either Mustangs, Mercedes, Jeeps, or Wranglers. You always see them getting repoed.
New cars. You got Chargers, Scat Packs, Mercedes, Genesis,
Ooh.
Range Rovers.
These look clean. They're
Range
brand new.
Rover, trucks, Teslas.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they should have repoed this. This ain't no Scat Pack. Look at that.
Look at it.
The Savini's wheel with the. It's a regular Charger.
They're already
man.
spending on the wheels.
And guys, these aren't 2010, 2012. These are 2019, 2020s and up that are getting repoed. People are barely had these cars for a year, maybe less, maybe more, and the banks are picking them up and selling them at the auctions for a fraction of what they bought it for. Show you how cooked the car market is with all these high interest loans, people bailing out of their auto loans because they can't even afford it. Here we have a 2019 Range Rover. Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh my God. Why are you buying a car like this when you can't even afford on the payments? What? What happened to a normal diesel Toyota? People who are smart enough to wait, you can potentially grab you a nice deal right here on some used cars that were repossessed. Easy. But it's crazy to see how people were so in a rush to buy expensive cars just for them to have them handed back to the bank.
I'm sure whoever bought this probably paid an arm and a leg, and it's going to go for a fraction of the cost.
Oh
of the
my
auction.
God.
And during COVID and even till today, people are getting approved for these crazy loans on these cars, paying $1,200, $1,500 a month. Insurance is $300, $400,
What?
maybe $500 a month for them. So they're paying more than half their income on just an automobile. That doesn't include anything else, any maintenance or anything. It's crazy. Car market is getting stagnant. Inventory is going up. And the reason is people just don't know how to educate themselves, budget correctly. And dealers are taking advantage of that.
That's it. All the right recipes for you to go broke. All of it. A car salesman is the most dangerous person you can ever meet at a dealership. You'll be surprised how they try to finesse you, man. Sometimes they convince you that, hey, if you're not buying this, you're going to lose out on life. It's like they're convincing you that without this car, you can't breathe. Because a lot of cars are now getting repossessed. And some dealers are not able to move their cars out of the lot. They're just having a lot of cars sitting on inventory.
I've never seen anything like this before. There are 66,000
What?
model year 2023 new cars still for sale, and it's almost 2025. Of those 66,000, 16,000 of them are Fords. Almost 7,000 of them are brand new 2023 Jeeps.
Oh my God.
And nearly 5,000 are 2023 brand new Ram 1500 pickup trucks. Just this morning, the CFO from Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, said that Stellantis needs to sell down 100,000 units of inventory between now and the end of the year. That's an additional 35,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs that the automaker is going to incentivize the sale of.
These guys are just not able to move these cars. It's almost like you're producing the next year's version of a car, but not able to sell even 2 years back. You still have inventory sitting from then. What is the point? And all the time when they make these new versions of a car, they're making small changes. You might see a small change in the bumper, in the lights, and then they justify that hike in price. But yet you can't even sell the old one that you had before. And for some reason, I don't understand why the dealership doesn't want to sell them by reducing the price and potentially incentivizing more customers to come and buy them. But they're thinking that, hey, if I keep these prices high, I'm going to get that one fish in the bucket to likely bite on that and then take the car home. Yo, if someone has no money, they just don't have any money. So you're pretty much sitting there with a car that's just dead weight.
You may not know it, but we are coming up to the absolute best time of year to buy a new car. That is the end of the year. Google search Car Edge, best time to buy a car, and this guide will pop right up. And you already know that Stellantis and Ford dealers are going to be putting all sorts of deals together for these 2023 new cars that they are...
What is that? A 2023 Ford for $45,000? I mean, after tax, that's $50K. Why would you buy that? Why would you buy a 2023 Ford for $50,000? You can probably get even a new Mercedes for roughly the same price. I don't know who can justify paying this.
Guys, what we're saying, so here is the most overpriced SUV on the market right now. Look, before people start complaining, yes, I do know that this car, it's not easy to get your hands on, hence the price tag.
The Ferrari Purosangue. No way. $529,000. I know this is the very first SUV that Ferrari's ever produced, but I'm sorry, I can't justify paying $500,000 on a vehicle. No way. Especially you can get some of these Porsche 911s, these Lamborghini Gallardos, you can even get some Hurricanes, even for less the price than this.
Still, no matter what anyone says, this price tag is pathetic. Over £500,000 for a car that looks like a Mazda CX-5. You know what's crazy? You could literally buy 2 Lamborghini Uruses or 3 G63s, which look 10 times better, and these both come with kits. And the mad thing is, for a car that's over £500,000, it don't even look sporty, flashy, or anything like that. If anything, it looks like an electric car. But for me, guys, I'm not a fan at all. I think it's heavily overpriced. But if anyone does think there's a valid reason for this price tag, feel free to let me know in the comments.
Granted, the Ferrari looks beautiful. I've seen it. It sounds even amazing. But the justification on the price tag is ridiculous. And Ferrari knows that you'll come and buy this car. They know this. They know this. And the worst thing about Ferrari is that you buy some of their cars, they're going to depreciate heavy. Like, I know there's some Ferraris that maintain their value, but I can tell you for one that you're going to lose out on a couple of them. And one thing about Ferrari is that they don't let you buy the top lineup as soon as it comes out. You have to kind of buy some of their older models for you to be qualified to buy the new ones. The same thing works in Porsche, and I'm sure in other sports car dealerships as well. Now, there was someone who was giving one of the worst advice on buying a Ferrari. But this is the thing about it. The advice that people give you to buy cars on TikTok is just the worst. Someone will almost convince you that you're missing out on one of the best deals that you can ever get. But yeah, if you see the behind the stories of some of the people who are struggling with this, you'll be surprised. Here's one.
You're going to lose money on cars, lose it with Ferrari. McLaren, they could crash. Lambo, they don't necessarily make the best Halo cars. Mercedes, once again, nothing is on the level of Ferrari. If you can play the game, and I've said this,
they're the ones to play.
Yeah.
I like you, man. You lie a lot.
What do we get?
This is... You can tell that this guy is a hardcore Ferrari fan. He's glazing. I've never seen someone glaze for Ferrari this hard, man. I understand they're nice cars. They sound good. But, boy, don't be lying to people. Don't be lying. Don't be lying that Ferrari can maintain its value when you know that that's not the truth.
Get asked so often is, I feel I need to play this game with Ferrari, so I'm just going to buy a few cars from them, and then I'm going to be able to get the latest competizione and this and the other. I just think it's such a dangerous market to be playing that game now. It's not a case of, I'll buy a 488, I'll only make 10 grand loss on that, and I'll make a 10 grand loss on the Portofino in order to buy something that I'll make 100 grand profit on. Now it's like, shit, if you buy that car, you might lose 50 grand, and you might lose 100%. 60 grand on that one.
But I think with Ferrari, this is the one brand that I'd say that you can probably never go wrong with.
Look at you, sitting out there saying that with your chest out puffed. No way. Let me show you a real example of someone who's upside down on a Ferrari.
A client called to sell their 2021 Ferrari SF90. We're going to give them up a call and see what we can do for them.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jason?
Yes, sir.
Jason, this is Alex with Earth Motor Cars giving you a call about your 21 SF90 you have for sale.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this car, and I wanted to trade it.
What are you interested in trading it for?
It's the black Corvette Stingray C8. I think it's the 21, yeah.
Okay. And you have a Ferrari SF90 for trade?
Yeah, I do, man. Yeah, that's the car that I want to kind of get out of now, so.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about it, the Ferrari?
I mean, it's Rosso Corsa, it's red, have the carbon seats, I don't know, man. The payments are getting kind of crazy, so I just thought I'd get rid of it and
Understandable.
get into something else. So
Yeah, sure.
I just want to get as close to my payoff as possible, or if not all of it.
Okay.
Because I still do owe a reasonable amount on the car. So
Okay, well, how much do you owe on it?
a little under 700,000.
Damn! Hey!
How much?
About
He had to ask how much. Look how much the car is right now. A 2021 Ferrari. 461,000. Like, this is the going rate for it.
690 something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I bought the car for 770 in 2021.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. My number is probably going to start with a 4.
So you're saying 400,000 is what I'd give for the car?
No, I'd give you more than 400, but my number would start with a 4.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, you're close to a little over $200,000 in negative equity, bro.
Yeah, and you're not the only dealer to tell me this, man. I'm trying kind of everywhere I can.
Oh, shoot, bro.
Like
You
literally.
see what I'm saying? He is $200,000 in negative equity on that car. And it's 2021. It's not like that car is like 10 years old. But apparently you can't lose value on a Ferrari. Look at this man. He's about to be in debt. And he bought this from a dealership. They convinced him, hey, bro, you're coming at the best time to buy a car. $770,000. Now look, and he wants to buy a Stingray? Bro, you might as well start looking at Toyotas at this point. Or maybe look at potentially using the bus. Because I don't know how you're going to handle that negative equity.
Literally, I took out a loan to cover my rent, bro. Like I said, it's just things aren't really working out.
What did he say there?
Like literally, I took out a loan to cover my rent, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Hey, hey.
I mean, do you have strong income? What do you do for work?
Back when I got this car, I was making like $40,000 a month.
Wow.
Right now, it's like 10, 15, kind of burying me. And I mean, I shouldn't have bought the car in the first place. But
what was the sales price of the car?
$770. I didn't put much down at all. My payment's like $10,000 or $11,000
a month.
Yeah.
Oh man.
$770.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm surviving on my savings, and that like the car payment's just ripping me in half, man. I mean, I have an Etsy store which pays for most of it, but
here's one for sale, bro.
Bro, he's struggling. He can't make rent. This is why I'm saying the car market got people in a chokehold. Now people are almost sacrificing every single dollar just to make sure that they can make it on the car payments. But they can't survive. Like he's now thinking about, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to a point where he's going to be like, how am I going to afford food on the table? If rent is already on the line, where's food going to come? You tell me that.
With 3,000 miles for $489. Here's one with 3,000 miles for $499. So unfortunately, when you bought it in 2022, the SF90 market was like crazy. So you're not the only one in this situation. I just don't know what to do in regards to get you out of your 200,000 plus in negative equity. You know what I mean?
You see, he's done. When it was hot back then, people were jumping on it. Just willy-nilly because I guess you're making money. You needed to think. The Stingray is $70,000. Even the payment on that would be okay, especially with the income he was making. He could have even bought it out right away. But this is what it is.
This is pretty bad. If you recently bought a car, truck, SUV, a EV, whatever it is, chances are pretty good that you're upside down in it, meaning that you owe more than it's worth. And sure, this is something that's always been an issue, but it's becoming much more of one. A recent survey by CarEdge, who did this survey in partnership with Black Book, found that 31% of drivers who finance their vehicles are currently in negative equity.
Car prices are going to crash the rest of 2024. Today, Nissan reported their quarterly earnings, and their profit went down 99%. 99% year over year. Nissan's not the only one. Ford profits went down, and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, their profits plunged too. Why is this happening right now? Well, it's pretty simple. Automakers increased their prices a ton during the pandemic, and now customers are refusing to purchase them. Dealers have been complaining for months that they have an oversupply of inventory, like this Nissan Murano that's been sitting for 210 days. But now that those dealers aren't selling those cars, it's showing up on the automakers' quarterly reports too. So what does this mean for you? Two things. One, when you go to buy a new car, you have to negotiate. The dealer has an incentive to sell you the vehicle because they have pressure from their OEM, the automaker, to sell more. And two, it means you're going to see even more incentives from the automakers. 0% financing, thousands of dollars off, things like that.
This is what's going on. Now the dealership are now getting bitten in the butt.
As a country, we are completely fucking screwed. Take a look at this. I never thought I'd see the day where a 2025 Honda Accord would be over $25,000, and I'm talking about loaded every single option. Take a guess at how much this is. $40,000 for a 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid Touring. Yes, I know it's completely loaded, but the price just makes no sense for a Honda. And this isn't the only one. Look at all of these 2024, $40,000. It's insane. $40,000 for a Honda Accord. There's so many other vehicles that you could go ahead and grab other than a Honda Accord. And to top it off, $40,000 for a vehicle that looks like this.
I can't lie. The Honda does not look appealing. For $40,000, it ain't looking good at all. I don't know. I've seen this on the road. You've probably seen it as well. It ain't appealing. Let's be honest. Who's out here buying a Honda Accord for $45,000 to $50,000? You're telling me that I'm going to buy a Honda for that type of price? Nah. And I'm pretty sure Honda is not even pricing them like this. No, but the dealership are. They want you to pay that extra amount of money for that car. And it doesn't make sense. Why would you justify that type of money?
Saying that the car market is crashing, it is relative to 6 months, 1 year, a year and a half ago. When car prices have 2 to 4x the last year, and dealers have overpaid on trade-ins, and finance companies are having record high repo and default rates, and people are realizing that they are so upside down on their vehicles that they traded in the last year because they wanted to get into something new, and they thought they were being incentivized to get into a new vehicle, and they thought the car market would keep going up, just like they thought the housing market would go up. Now they're stuck. Most of these cars are in red. 11% down, 8% down, 11.5% down, 7% down. That is insane, guys, but all we have to do is look at the data. Credit card and car loan defaults hit a 10-year high. Why is this? Let's break it down for you guys. So, during the pandemic, there was this transitioning period where dealers, independent, franchise, even people that had vehicles were making so much money because they bought a car pre-pandemic levels, and now their car 2x, 4x, increased 50%. They're like, yo, I'm definitely selling. I got to cash out of my equity.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealers are overflowing with inventory, and things just got even worse. I mean, seriously, overflowing with inventory. To the point where they're having to get overflow lots for all the trucks and cars and SUVs that they can't sell. Jeep, for example, has increased their price 61% over the past 6 years, which is a steep price increase that a lot of customers can't afford. Things have gotten so bad that dealers are even hitting me up asking what they need to do to sell more cars, and I told them I would ask the community. And it's not just Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Ford, with their F-Series pickup truck, just had a 6% sales decline year over year. And that's while Ford's been advertising 1.9% APR financing for 72 months on the remaining 2023 Ford F-150s. So yeah, what should I tell this dealer?
I don't know if maybe the dealers or the manufacturers need to figure out like another way of pricing these cars.
Dealerships are drowning in inventory right now, but a few auto brands are in much worse shape than others. According to a recent report from Cox Automotive, the industry as a whole is sitting at a 76 days supply in the United States, which it isn't all that bad when you figure a 70-day supply is considered like optimal or normal. But Jeep, Ram, Jaguar, and Alfa Romeo are more than double that. Dodge isn't far behind. They're also overstocked, currently sitting at 151 days supply. These automakers, they could almost shut down production completely for the rest of the year and be okay, which is sort of wild. Lincoln is at 144 days supply, Chrysler's at 143, Infinity's at 127, Volvo at 121, and Mitsubishi is at 115. These are the brands that you'll most likely see pushing massive incentives and offers in order to try and get that inventory that nobody's buying and to move. On the flip side, Toyota has just a 30-day supply.
Of course.
Lexus is at 45, Honda's at 46. I'll put the whole list up right now for you guys to.
But yeah. I mean, the most reliable brands and well-known brands, Lexus, Toyota, Honda, those ones will always be selling. The worst part about this I don't get is that why are they always pushing new versions of a car every year? They should do it like every 2 years. Then at least the anticipation would be better. At least then they can put most of the efforts and resources in developing the car much better. At least understanding what your consumers want, than just pushing out the same trash with small changes and expecting a different result. That's the same thing what we were complaining about with the iPhones. Same design, same body, small changes. Bigger price tag, not justified.
Auto industry's recession and deflationary spiral is getting even worse. A Cars.com report found that demand for new cars was down by 26% in July, while the supply of new cars was up by 45%. So you know what lower demand and higher supply means: lower prices, or that deflationary spiral. So if you've been holding out for that new car, keep waiting, because prices are going to keep falling. Let's face it, more and more people sitting out of the new car market was bound to happen with how unaffordable cars have become. This same Cars.com report showed that the U.S. auto industry has lost over 750,000 cars that are priced below $30,000 since 2019. And remember, the average price for a new car is around $50,000. And let's not even talk about interest rates. Now the auto industry, despite itself, is having to put more focus back on cars that are more affordable. Because of course, while prices are starting to go down, they're still not low enough for many people.
If you're someone who's been waiting for a perfect time to actually jump in and buy a car, end of December would probably be your best bet. You can get one of those great deals on those special holidays. And on top of that, since a lot of car makers have a lot of inventory parked outside, they're definitely going to give you one of the best deals you can ever get on a vehicle. But at the same time, negotiate. Negotiate. You better start telling them what you want. Give me my money. I'm making sure I give you the lowest for the best car I want. I think this can only be one of the times where I'd actually say, hey, maybe actually looking towards a brand new car would be a lot better. Let me know what y'all think. I mean, put your comments down below and let's talk about it, because I don't know. Some of the prices I saw on the cars, it's crazy. I can't even justify it. Let me know even what you're going to pick up, especially if you've been sitting out for so long. But anyway, if you do like the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But until the next one, peace.